Okay, so now what we're doing is a little bit of a demonstration on how to do the virgin bleach or virgin lightener. And we're going to take approximately a 1/4 inch subsection. Now remember, this depends on if the hair is thick or thin. This is kind of a thinner mannequin head, so I'm taking 1/4 inch, which is about the size of a number 2 pencil. We have to start, and also if you notice, this is 4 inches or under. If it is, the length of the hair is 4 inches or less, then we're going to stay a 1/2 inch, size of a finger, a 1/2 inch from the scalp. We're going all the way through the ends. If it is longer than 4 inches, then we're going to leave out approximately an inch at the end for those porous ends. Now there's a lot of different ways that you can do it for neatness and making sure that I don't run into what we've already done. I'm actually going to put this foil down so that it's nice and neat, but we're going to remove it. So I'm going to stay, again, a 1/2 inch from the scalp. Make sure that I have that nice and saturated. Then I'm going to come this way and pull this at 90. Make sure that we saturate the ends. And you know, some people just put their hand underneath it if they have gloves on. What I want you to notice is you can see that this is a 1/2 inch from the scalp. We start a 1/2 inch from the scalp. And then what you want to do is just make sure that you just pull it out and let it fall. Because when you do, you can see how this was left. You can also see your subsections, and that's kind of important because you don't want this hair, when you're putting the product on, to go through and then get on that part that you left out underneath. So when we do this, I'm going to take another 1/4 inch section. I need to make sure I can see it, so I'm going to make it nice and neat. Pick this up, and we're also going to pull this at 90. So I'm going to hold this out here, and I'm actually going to do this in 2, simply because I don't want to have any challenge. So when we do this, I'm going to take this, put it underneath, just like that. And that's just enough to make it nice and neat, and also so that you can see it. I'm going to stay a 1/2 inch away from the scalp. When I put this on, notice I'm pulling it at 90 in both directions. Then I can pull this out and then let it fall. We can do the same thing here, but again, because the crown is so wide, I can't pull this here. I have to pull this where it grows. I'm going to put this down. We're going to start a 1/2 inch from the scalp. And then just let it come off. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. We're going to take a 1/4 inch subsection. Get this out the way. Make sure it's nice and neat. So again, I'm going to split this in half because I want to do this here. This is 90. And then I'm going to take another one because this is 90. And this is where it rounds the head. So if I did this, what's going to happen is this is over directing and so is this. And when that happens, I'm going to leave more than a 1/2 inch. So I want to make sure that when I do this, that I'm pulling at a 90. I'm going to put this down. Not that I need the foil. If you don't choose to use it, you definitely don't have to. A lot of people just put their hand underneath it, and that works just fine. But the main thing is I'm staying a 1/2 inch away from the scalp, if you notice. And when I put this on, I'm making sure that I get this well saturated. And then as soon as I have it saturated, then I'm just going to let this fall so that you can actually see the subsection. And you don't get this onto that part that you wanted to leave out. So now we're going to do this next little section. And again, I'm going to put this down just to hold it. And notice that's a 1/2 inch from the scalp. And I'll show you and, prove it to you, because what did we just say? God gave us fingers, right? So that is a 1/2 inch. And once you do that, I'm just going to pull this off and let it go down. And then we're going to finish that section to where it goes all the way up. If you don't finish a section, then they're going to say you didn't finish a section in enough time. And so therefore, you'll probably have to go back and do it again. So